Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we are going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I have finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what I'm going to get into. So, recently, I finished the book The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. I go through these phases where I just want to read like cozy, magical books. And Sarah Addison Allen writes very, very cozy and magical books. So, this is this is the third book I've read by her. And it's a story about this teenage girl who goes back to her mother's hometown after her mother had passed away and goes to live with his grandfather that she didn't know existed because her mom never talked about her life when she lived in this town prior back in the day. And I guess that's with good reason because when she was growing up and a teenager, she was a spoiled, horrible butthole. And there's something that she did that the whole town absolutely hates her. And so when this girl comes back to town, the town folk are treating her somewhat weirdly, and she slowly discovers why that is. And has to come to terms to deal with the fact that her mother wasn't the greatest, but like when she grew up with her mom was like always helping people and doing philanthropy and starting a school for girls to like empower them and, help them as they go through life and doing all these wonderful things. And she's like, how could my mother have been such a spoiled, horrible butthole? It also follows another character and there's, it's cozy. So there's romance in it and it's super cute. And I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm really, really loving this author. So if you want some cozy magical books, if you haven't read Sarah Addison Allen, I would highly recommend her. She writes really great books that just, they strike the heart chords. Some of them have like the most wonderful food descriptions in them. Actually, the three that I've read have had awesome food descriptions that just make me want to eat delicious things every time I read them. And they're super cute and they're addictive reads. Loving them. So now, what am I in the middle of? I'm in the middle of I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. This book is not at all what I expected, and I'm not going to go too into it because that would be a huge spoiler if I do. So it follows these two characters, Tolly and Amber. It's called I Was a Teenage Slasher, so a lot of weird slasher horror murder stuff happens. It's kind of strange what happens. There's an element where someone comes back from the dead, and that's all I'm going to say, that sets off this weird chain of events and leads these two to be like these notorious people on this slasher summer in La Mesa, Texas. And so far, it is a very addictive read. I had to stop in the middle because we went camping. I'm going to pick that back up tonight and get back into it. And it's a lot of fun so far. If you've read Stephen Graham Jones, he's great. If you like horror and haven't had a chance to check him out yet, he's got a ton of books. I'm not quite sure where to tell you to start with his books if you haven't, but I don't know. This one I think would be a good one to start with. It's a lot of fun so far, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, so let's tell you what we're going to read in the future. What will we be reading? Well, let's tell you about it. So recently I read this like bookmobile cat mystery, and it was super cute and cozy, and it was from a Michigan-based author. And I found another book in that vein. This one has a dog. It's the Murder at the Pumpkin Pageant by Darcy Hannah. Can you see the little dog right there? There he is with his little Halloween bucket. It's really cute. And even the title sounds cute, Murder at the Pumpkin Pageant. Yeah, and this author is also from Michigan. What up, Michigan people writing cozy, cute murder mysteries with pets? I love it. I randomly discovered these at the library. I had no idea they existed, so this is kind of fun for me to find these, but let's tell you about this. It's Halloween weekend, and Beacon Harbor, Michigan has a packed schedule of events, including the Pumpkin Pageant, featuring humans and their canine counterparts. For treats, there's plenty of pumpkin goodness from the bakery cafe owner and local lighthouse resident, Lindsay Bakewell. But someone wants to spoil the fun with a deadly trick. Always someone's got to ruin it for everyone else. Lindsay prefers to keep her bake shop's Halloween decor light and autumnal, rather than gruesome and ghoulish. But everyone knows her lighthouse home is haunted. Some intrepid teens have even tried to break in to witness the resident ghosts themselves. Also, I feel like every lighthouse is haunted. If you know of any that are not supposedly haunted, let me know, because I swear they all have stories of hauntings. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. I've been wrong a lot about a lot of things, so let me know. All right, sorry, back to this. Dreading Halloween night, Lindsay reluctantly allows her influencer and podcaster best friend Kennedy to host a live ghost hunting investigation in the lighthouse. Conducted by a professional team, protective of her ghost, Lindsay is understandably nervous about what they might uncover. The segment is uneventful until things take a terrifying turn. Dun dun dun. The team freaks out. As Kennedy joins the mad dash outside, she bumps into what looks like the prankster teen's creepy clown costume hanging from a tree. But when Lindsay's dog Wellington begins to whine, they make a grim discovery. The clown is no dummy, it's a corpse. Now, Lindsay and company will need to keep their cool if they want a ghost of a chance to solve the murder and see another Halloween. And it sounds cute and cozy and right up my alley. I love it. Haunted lighthouse. Creepy clown costume person dead. We'll see what happens. And dogs. It sounds super fun and super cute, and I can't wait to read it. All right, so after that, we're gonna get into Through the Midnight Door. Through the Midnight Door. Thanks, library, for barcoding right on there. I'll just shake my head, that's all. Anyways, so I've been seeing this over on Instagram, and it sounded pretty good. So, Katrina Monroe, Through the Midnight Door. Let's tell you about it. The darkness will always be waiting. The Finch sisters once spent long, hot summers exploring the dozens of abandoned properties littering their dying town, until they found an impossible home with an endless hall of doors and 3 keys left waiting for them. Curious, fearless, they stepped inside their chosen rooms and experienced horrors they never dared speak of again. Now, years later, youngest sister Claire has been discovered dead in that old desiccated house. Haunted by their sister's suicide and the memories of a past they've struggled to forget, Meg and Esther find themselves at bitter odds. As they navigate their tensions of their brittle relationship, they draw unsettling lines between Claire's death, their own haunted memories, and a long ago loss no one in their family has ever been able to face. With the house once again pulling them ever closer, Meg and Esther must find the connection between their sister's death and the shadow that has chased them across the years before the darkness claims them too. And I thought that sounded really good. So, looking forward to Ooh, the Midnight Door! Through the Midnight Door by Katrina Monroe. All right, after that, we have Cause I Like Gardens. The Garden Against Time by Olivia Lang. And this is a nonfiction book, and it sounded kind of cool. I read the flap on the inside, and I was like, all right, that sounds right up my alley. So, let me tell you about it. In 2020, Olivia Lang began to restore an 18th century walled garden in Suffolk, an overgrown Eden of unusual plants. The work brought to light a crucial question for our age. Who gets to live in paradise, and how can we share it while there's still time? Moving between real and imagined gardens, from Milton's Paradise Lost to John Clare's Enclosure Elegies, from a wartime sanctuary in Italy to a grotesque aristocratic pleasure ground funded by slavery, Lang interrogates the sometimes shocking cost of making paradise on Earth. But the story of the garden doesn't always enact larger patterns of privilege and exclusion. It's also a place of rebel outposts and communal dreams. From the improbable queer utopia conjured by Derek Jarman on the beach at Dungeness to the fertile vision of the common Eden propagated by William Morris, new modes of living can and have been attempted amidst the flower beds. Experiments that could prove vital in the coming era of climate change. The result is a humming, glowing tapestry, a beautiful and exacting account of the abundant pleasures and possibilities of gardens. Not as a place to hide from the world, but as a site of encounter and discovery, be loud and pollen-laden. I feel like I'm gonna love this book because I love gardens and gardening, so it sounded pretty cool. So that is what we are gonna get into in the future, and I am looking forward to that. Out of all of those, I think I'm looking forward to Through the Midnight Door the most. But I am also really looking forward to that the cozy pumpkin pageant murder mystery. So as the nights are getting a bit cooler out here, recently it's been like in the 40s at night, and it's felt like fall in the evening. Like the daytime feels like summer and the nighttime feels like fall. So at night I'm like, I want to read cozy things. So if you enjoy videos where I talk about multiple things I'm reading or have read, the next video coming up will be a video about that. So stick around, check it out. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.